The human pelvis is our structural center of gravity. It is the architectural pivot point for the spine and the base for our upright posture. Because it bears such concentrated physical load, it becomes the primary site for deep-seated physical and emotional tension. When this foundation destabilizes, the damage is systemic. It manifests as splitting sciatic pain, the structural failure of the abdominal wall in the form of hernias, and chronic irregularities in the reproductive system. Yogic philosophy identifies this state of constant physical distraction as body consciousness. When the pelvis is in a state of distress, human awareness remains trapped, perpetually preoccupied with the mechanics of its own discomfort. This creates a biological barrier to growth. As long as the body is in a state of deterioration, the mind is forced to focus entirely on physical survival. Culturing the intellect or the spirit requires a sound body first, so that the mind can finally move beyond the limitations of its own physical frame. This physical vulnerability mirrors a subtle one. In the energy system of yoga, the lower abdomen houses the sacral chakra, or svadhisthana, the center of the lower vital. This abdominal center is the primary point where we identify with the outside world, making it highly sensitive to external currents of force. Because it is naturally open, this center acts as a sponge. It absorbs the violent emotions and negative vibrations of others directly into our own system. These external influences have immediate physical repercussions. When the lower vital is overwhelmed, it triggers sensations of deep discomfort and mysterious muscular spasms throughout the abdomen. This ungrounded state creates a leaking vessel. Without a stable container, we are left in a state of constant emotional fatigue, drained by every negative vibration we encounter in the world around us. To repair this vulnerability, the yogic system utilizes specific mechanical interventions. One of the most foundational is Baddha Konasana, or the bound angle pose. The posture utilizes a specific structural geometry. The practitioner sits with an erect spine, joins the soles of the feet, and draws the heels firmly toward the perineum. This alignment functions as a targeted internal pump. By binding the legs in this specific configuration, the posture floods the lumbar region and the deep abdomen with intense, localized blood circulation. This surge of blood tones the lower sections of the spine and restores functionality to dormant abdominal organs. It is an applied method for clearing stagnation from the human core, providing a physical solution to an energetic problem. The physiological effects of this posture are immediate. The structural tension applied in this pose realigns the lower back to alleviate sciatic pain and strengthens the abdominal wall to prevent hernias. Because of the intense circulation directed to the pelvic bowl, texts describe this pose as a corrective tool for the glandular and reproductive systems. In female anatomy, the pose is used to regulate menstrual cycles and optimize the function of the ovaries. It is particularly useful during pregnancy. Practitioners using the pose daily report a significant reduction in pain during delivery and fewer varicose veins. By resolving these chronic physical burdens, the pose removes the distractions of body consciousness. With the body no longer demanding constant repair, the mind is finally available for higher work. A healthy, anchored physical body is more than just a goal. It is the necessary vessel for culturing the mind. The sacral chakra requires this structural stability to function. Without a firm physical base, this energy center remains vulnerable to being overwhelmed by external vibrations. Physically binding the pelvis in this posture creates a corresponding energetic seal. It takes the chaotic energy of the lower vital and secures it within a closed, stable circuit. This seal acts as an active shield, preventing the absorption of negative emotions that trigger physical discomfort. On the right of this diagram, we see the result of rooted alchemy. By securing our boundaries, we transform ourselves into a stable container, creating a state of internal oneness and serenity. The final purpose of this containment is the alchemical sublimation of our most primal vital energy. The texts provide specific instructions for this transformation. As seen here, Baddha Konasana is combined with internal root locks to regulate and refine excessive primal urges. Sublimation does not suppress energy, it redirects it. This refined power is pushed upward through the central channel of the body. Reclaiming this energy makes the whole being dynamic and creative. Instead of being exhausted by external influences, the practitioner experiences a state of internal serenity and oneness. Securing the physical base removes the primary biological obstacle to higher awareness. By mastering the structural center, we allow the mind to finally transition from survival to absolute serene stillness.